Ahoy, Let's Watchers, it's me, your valiant Captain Vasco. In the last episode, well, I'm pretty sure we fought Carnage. It was kind of a while ago. Sorry about that, but recently there's just been a whole lot going on in my life, and very little has been going according to plan. But I'm sure I'll find some excuse to complain about that later. Got a whole bunch of recording ahead. So let's see. We weren't doing anything important, right, before I left? Nothing that would require urgency or time-sensitive record. Oh, right, we were going to save the universe. Not just the world, but the actual universe whose very fabric was unraveling into a spool of miserable thread at the hands of Mysterio. Well, luckily, from the sounds of that cutscene last time, we'll have the access of 4 different Spider-Mans. And I know that the canon in-game plural for Spider-Man is Spider-Men, but I will always prefer Spider-Mans, because I'm weird. But yeah, without any further ado, let's get the show on the road. It's the final level of the game. No jokes this time. And by jokes, I guess I mean I initially said there was a final level, then, like, pretended like there wasn't for no reason. No more of that. This is the actual final level. After this is like an infinite amount of credits, which, not entirely sure what I'm gonna do about that. I like to show the credits, 'cause
I command reality itself!
You don't need to get a swelled head about it.
seriously, man, when I controlled all of reality, I was really humble about it, and everyone really appreciated it.
Eternal!
Show off.
So, yeah, you go through 4 levels, one as each Spider-Man, and that makes up this final battle. The first one you play as Noir, and Mysterio holds up a giant, like, magical flashlight and tries to spot you. If he does, he'll throw his flashlight at you for massive damage. And that's essentially what it boils down to.
Your end has come.
Crap, oh crap, oh crap. I'm not kidding, he does like super tremendous amount of, it's like at least, I think it's at least 1/3 of your health. And actually, while we're here, let's see if I can upgrade anything with whatever points I have left, because there's really no point in saving them for anything. Character upgrades, can I get more health? Bonus suits, health +1, that'll do. Bye. Pretty sure, yeah, I really don't have use for any combat upgrades, so I'm just gonna leave that alone.
You're full of something.
Yeah, I like to try and take this part. I really do hate Spider-Man Noir. Now, everyone saw that, right? I was completely hidden by this thing. Like, I stepped over here, and he saw me, even though I was completely covered in darkness and eclipsed by that solid object. He somehow managed to see me. This encompasses my issue with Spider-Man Noir on the whole, really. The other thing I don't like about this particular section of the final boss battle is that it's really unintuitive, the paths that you have to take to get where you're going. Like, there are times when, like,
You're full of something.
You're like on one of these, like, floating island platform things adjacent to the one you're trying to get to, and yet, like, the game sort of determines that you're too far away to do, like, a web zip or something. And I don't think you can swing at all here. I mean, granted, there's nothing up there to swing off of, but still, like, it has an effect on... Oh, crap. It has an effect on your ability to navigate the game. And see, there I was, like, standing under a lamppost completely unobstructed by anything, and he can't see me. And yet the one time I'm, like, hiding behind a wall in pitch darkness, and he's like, oh, there you are! Like, it really... I mean, I don't object to the Noir gameplay itself. I think it's a really cool idea. And even though they do some cool things in the Noir levels, you know, excluding Vulture, because there's really nothing good about the Vulture level.
I have all of eternity to find you.
Like, it's just not fully realized, I guess. I don't know, it's just sort of like, the ideas are there, but the execution leaves something to be desired. Like, there are times when you should be spotted that you're not, and vice versa, and it really just sort of breaks the immersion on the whole stealth thing, when it's, like, that inconsistent about, you know, the central mechanic of that type of gameplay.
Show off.
Almost there yet? God, the section always feels like it takes forever. I mean, granted, I'm trying to be really cautious.
I'm really.
But, still. Okay. I think, yeah, that's it up ahead. And it's kind of anticlimactic after... Oh, no, I guess I'm stuck in the wall. I'll give it another minute, sure.
Tell me more.
But yeah, like, what you do once you get to the end... Like, I don't understand why, like, when Mysterio can't see you for most of this... Oh, God, what the...
Foolish insect, pitting yourself.
Yeah, the whole Sky Island thing grows kind of tiresome.
What's that? I can't
Just
hear
like...
you.
It's really easy to get knocked off, and it continues to be easy later on, and I'm sure you'll see me fall off as Amazing Spider-Man. I think is the only... No, as Ultimate you can have problems with that too. But 2099 does not experience this problem, and you'll see why.
Wrath.
But yeah, so like you climb up this sideways building, and then you do like a single web pull, and then Spider-Man Noir's done. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like he contributed all that much. Anyway, one level down.
Behold.
Welcome back to Spider-Man 2099.
Stands against.
Actually, no.
I'm sensitive
Because of
about
that
my height,
falling
okay?
graphic, I always think 2099 is next. But Ultimate comes second. Because 2099 does another freefall level, which is, I guess, the closest thing he really has to signature gameplay. Which is sort of one of the problems with this final level. Like, in terms of making all of them... like all the different sections like feel like a level of that character. Like it works for Noir and it works for Ultimate because they have, you know, like Ultimate's just like get swarmed by guys and do beat 'em up stuff. And Noir obviously has his stealth thing. But 2099 and Amazing have like relatively, you know, generic gameplay. Not to say that like it's not still cool. It's just sort of like it's not visually distinctive the way the other ones are. Anyway, for this section of the game, or of the level, more accurately, Mysterio uses his weird conjurations to summon both large quantities of generic, like vapor enemies or something. I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to be. It's kind of hard to tell because they're just sort of monochromatic, like, mobs of monsters. But he summons those, and then he summons these weird floating red orbs that spawn the previous bosses of the game. And every time you destroy one of the orbs, he loses some health. And it brings him closer to losing. But you have to be careful because, like, each one of the bosses gets, like, a signature attack from, you know, when you fought them before. And it's kind of weird because for this entire section of the fight, you're obviously just Ultimate Spider-Man. Okay, and once you've done him enough damage, this happens. He, like, breaks up the island you're on and, like, reforms it into an island, like, 20 feet away. I don't know why he does this, and... if you don't wait for it to settle, you can sort of fall into the abyss, but like once it's settled, there's like zip points on it and stuff. So, you know, if you don't feel like doing that press right trigger to not fall into oblivion thing, you can just wait for the island to settle down. But yeah, you play this whole section as Ultimate Spider-Man, and yet you fight like these phantom images of every boss in the game. So you fight like not just like Electro and Carnage and Deadpool, but also like, you know, Kraven and Vulture and just like everyone. They all show up. Juggernaut.
Hey, what's so funny? See a reflection of your outfit?
There's Scorpion.
And see.
And oh yeah, when you're fighting these orb things, I'm pretty sure the reason for the color difference, I don't think they take damage when they're red. And I say this uncertainly because, well, like, the orbs are like floating enemies, and I think as we established trying to fight those cameras in Deadpool's level, the sort of like aerial attack mechanics of this game, they're a little bit inconsistent. So like sometimes I could be like kicking in midair at something for like 5 minutes. I don't think I'd actually seen Goblin before. There's Goblin, he throws bombs at you. But yeah, so like sometimes you can just be in the air like kicking at even a purple orb and it just doesn't seem to do anything. But like I don't think I've ever broken an orb while it was red, so I think it's invulnerable at that point. Not sure.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So the safe thing to do when the islands are breaking apart is like these little white islands will appear like early on, and those are like safe places because those won't move once they're set up. So yeah, once those are in place, you can zip onto them and wait for the island to settle so that you, again, don't fall into the abyss if you're inclined to be annoyed by such things.
More playthings, little spider. Battle them for my amusement. I spy a spider.
I don't know, personally, I don't see why the boss summoning gimmick goes to Ultimate Spider-Man. I feel like it should have just been like seemingly endless waves of like generic enemies, and like it would show off his skills as a Spider-Man in particular to do so.
Did somebody say something? I really couldn't hear anything.
And you know, I'll explain more why I feel like why I would have like saved this for someone else when we get there. Boom. I fight all of your minions. Yeah, well, you don't actually have to fight all of them. You just have to fight enough that when you get close to him, when you press B, it will actually target him. That's the key in this at this point, once you break all the orbs. So now it's 2099 and his free fall section.
Again? You know, standing on solid ground is so 29.
I grow weary.
So you want to do the... you know, it's obviously easier to avoid his, like, magic fireball things when you're not going quickly. But I'm pretty sure that if you don't hold down the accelerator some, then, like, you don't catch up to him to launch attacks on him. Oh, that's lame. I totally dodged that. That one I totally did not dodge. See, I can tell the difference. The game apparently can't. But yeah, so basically, this one's really straightforward. It's just a free fall section where you have to catch up to him 3 times and beat on his giant face.
Come on, how about a real challenge?
So, you know, it's not... Why would I accelerate into that? I clearly wasn't gonna... Oh god.
This be your punishment.
Yeah, I don't think there's a slow down button, which would sometimes be useful. It's never really occurred to me to think about that until just now for some reason.
Is that the best you can do?
Zoom mode.
Your time is up.
Oh man.
But I just made this.
Again, don't know why I would accelerate into that. I was doing much better at this during my practice. But, you know, it's been a while since I've really done one of these Let's Plays, so I'm kind of rusty on my ability to talk and play video games at the same time without making an idiot of myself. Alright, so just one more. Dodge some fireballs. Use this thing.
That one was actually close.
Use this thing. And that one. See, now I'm back to doing, you know, mediocrely, apparently. Wow, he's spawning them really close to me for some reason. That doesn't usually happen. I find it strange. His aim's a little off with the magic fireballs, though, which is good for me, because apparently I'm, like, almost dead. I'm doing a really poor job of this right now. I'm making it look hard. It's not hard. Just, you know...
Yeah, it's all broken.
Maybe don't record a Let's Play if you're not ready to record a Let's Play. But I really wanted to get this done. So I do have a pro tip for this section. Obviously, we're down to Amazing Spider-Man, because, as I said, there's 1 level for each, and we've done 3. So, like, in this one... Well, this one really bugs me, actually. But in this one, there's these 3 platforms, and when you get on them, he spawns a bunch of enemies. And you have to kill all of the enemies before you can, like, do a web pull to throw some giant object at him. But, like, my question is, like, why? The object is there the whole time. It's this thing. This thing I'm standing next to. It's kind of shrouded by darkness, but it's right there, I promise. But so, like, I really don't get, like, A, why I can't just do that right away. And B, why, like, the Amazing Spider-Man thing is to fight a bunch of enemies. Because as I said before, it's clearly established that because of Rage Mode, like, that's an Ultimate Spider-Man thing to do. I also advise liberal use of the Spider Stomp in this section, because there are large numbers of enemies just sort of standing around, like, waiting for you to stand still, so that they can, like, hit you with their annoying stun attacks. Like, any attack by these guys will, like, automatically stun you, which is really irritating. because they're in very large quantities, and so it's easy for one of them to hit you. And if one of them hits you, then you're stunned, and it's easy for the other, like, 82 of them to hit you. So it's kind of lame. But fun fact is, there's an achievement for having a combo of like 200 or higher, which is fairly difficult. But as you progress into this section of the boss fight, he spawns larger numbers of enemies, and so this platform will like literally be full of those guys at some point. Well, maybe not this one. It might not be until the third platform you go to that he like fills it with enemies, but like they're just everywhere. So if you just keep doing the spider stomp, you're hitting like 10, 12 of them at a time, which counts towards your combo rating as like plus 10. So if you just keep doing that over and over, it doesn't really do enough damage to kill them by itself. So if you just keep doing it over and over, then you'll rack up like, 200 hits and can get that achievement. So if you like achievements, there you go, there's that one. I'm not going to go into all of them, as I've sort of determined gradually over the course of this Let's Play. My main focus is to do the challenges, and I do still want to do the hidden spider thing. Well, maybe want is a strong word, but I intend to do the hidden spider thing, but it's probably going to have to be on hold for a little while, because I'm going to have to play through the entire game again to get all the footage I need, and I don't have time for that. I really just don't. I wish I did. I would love to just, like, show that, be done with Spider-Man, move on to a new project, but my life is not there right now. See, he's spawned more enemies. There are more enemies here now than there were before. Yeah, I don't really get this. I don't understand why this is the Amazing Spider-Man thing. I think it would have been cooler, personally, and I said I would get to this before, and we're getting to it now. Okay, apparently I've killed enough of them to get that cutscene. But yeah, like, you do have to kill the last couple enemies before, like, the game will acknowledge that you can do that, which also kind of bugs me, because it's like, why show me the cutscene when you clearly know that there are still enemies left on this platform that I haven't killed? But so here you do a web pull, fling the thing at him, he gets upset for some reason. I guess he values his giant head. But you know what they say about people with giant heads? The bigger you are, the greater massive brain damage you incur by having giant rocks thrown at you by Spider-Man. I guess it loses something in translation from the original Hungarian, but I think you get the point. I think I'm going the right way. I didn't actually explain my pro tip. I was like, I have a pro tip, and then, like, shut up about it. So, like, pro tip about this, and, like, it doesn't really save you a lot of time, but it's just, like, a little bit more convenient and, like, vaguely more dramatic, is there's 3 platforms, as I said. 2 of them are sort of towards the back of the arena, if you're looking at it from the perspective where you come in. And one of them is, like, right the heck in front of you. And the one that's, like, right in front of you is also right in front of where Mysterio is the entire time. So if you save that one for last, then when it comes time for you to, like, confront Mysterio directly at the end of all this, then you'll be, like, right next to him, and you don't have to, like, spend, like, 5 minutes, like, swinging around and just, like, wasting time. Like, again, it's not really a big deal, but, you know, it just saves you a little time, makes the fight seem a little cooler. So, you know, I'm doing that, or at least I'm trying to. Hopefully I haven't gone to the wrong platform. It's kind of hard to tell, because this whole thing is just one giant circle in, like, Mysterio space. It's probably where the Higgs boson is, by the way, Mysterio space. I mean, they've been looking for it, but they forgot to take into account the fact that it's been hiding between universes. And now that Mysterio's used the tablet of order and chaos, I think that's what it was, I don't know, the mysterious powerful tablet, now that he's used that to destroy, like, all the boundaries between universes, then, you know, I guess I'm experiencing the Higgs boson now. I think it looks like a bunch of, like, weird vaporous claw monsters with stun attacks. Take that, science! But yeah, I think it would have been cooler if like, that orb boss generation thing was here with Amazing Spider-Man, and maybe you had to, like, beat like a crappier version of a boss, or maybe like multiple like weaker versions of bosses, in order to like gain access to these like giant chunks of stuff to throw at Mysterio. Like, I don't know, it feels like that would have been more of like a wrap-up to the game. And, you know, at the same time, I guess it would have been like a bit of a cop-out, because it'd be like a Mega Man boss rush or something. But, I don't know, I think it's cooler than just like, here, fight a bunch of enemies, and like throw a rock. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, the art direction, the atmosphere of all this is really sweet. Like, this looks like a really cool boss fight, and hopefully you agree and are enjoying watching this. But, like, I don't know, conceptually it bugs me a little. Like, this feels like this should be the way that the Ultimate Spider-Man section works, and not the final confrontation with Amazing Spider-Man. And, like, really, I feel like the way this is all planned out, Amazing does have to be the one to take him down. First off, he was the one who actually, like, pseudo-fought him. I mean, like, you don't actually fight him because your encounters with him before now are all in cutscenes. But, like, you know, clearly it was Amazing Spider-Man who was dealing with Mysterio before all of this happened. I don't know what I was saying. It's very hard to talk for this long when all I'm doing is just, like, bashing on vapor enemies. I guess I've decided that's what I'm calling them. I really don't know what they're supposed to be. Like, the thing is, they sort of remind me of, like, fighting Polygon Team from, like, original Smash Brothers on the 64. Because, like, they're just sort of, like, purple glowing guys who want to fight you, and, like, don't have any particular strength. I mean, I guess they have the strength of, like, the auto stun attack, but, like, I don't know, they don't have, like, special moves, they just sort of have that one feature. So many enemies. Also, a tip for anyone, like, I don't know, usually I'm actually doing worse than this at this part. Maybe the fact that I'm trying to talk is improving this section of the Let's Play while it was ruining my, like, 2099 play. But, you see those, like, archways over there? I'm trying to gesture with the camera. I've swung around on them between these platforms, but on top of every one of those is a spider emblem. So if you need to recover health, you know, you can always, like, swing on those. And it's convenient because they're located between the platforms, so if you take damage during one fight, you can sort of heal up before the next one. So, like, that's a cool idea. But yeah, you can do that if for some reason you, like, lose focus and get hit by too many of those, like, purple things, or you get, like, stun-locked by these, like, fighting Polygon Team Vapor guys. You can always just, like, hop onto those floating archways in Mysterio space and pick up on some spider emblems. But for now, we've pretty much actually just beat Mysterio. It's kind of anticlimactic. He's like, you hit me with 3 rocks. What a jerk move. And then you come over here, like I said, much closer to here than the other platforms.
Hey, Supreme Ruler of all the dimensions, get ready to kiss my fist.